either watching this video for the few of the following reasons. One, I literally sent you a link to this video if you ask me how can I become a vegan, or two, you're curious about wanting to become a vegan, or three, you just somehow stumbled across this video and now you're here. So hello, welcome. If you're new, please subscribe to my channel. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been such a long time since I posted a video about veganism, but alas, here I am with another vegan video. And the reason as to why is because since 2018, my DMs and text messages have been flooding with, Kathleen,
how can I transition into becoming a vegan?
Or,
I really want to become vegan, but I do not know where to start.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do the basics on how to become a vegan because there's just so much information that I don't want to bombard you with. Especially, I don't want to just make this video so long about really dissecting what is becoming vegan, what it is to different people, and you know, there's just so much. And I'm not doing that in this video. I do agree that I can make separate videos talking about a certain thing. For example, there are many things that people don't know as to what happens when you become a vegan, that happens in your insides. But that's kind of a little TMI, so if you're interested on that, I will be making a separate video on that if you want. I don't know, just let me know on the comment section down below. Enough with my rambling, and let's just get started because that's the reason why you're here, right?
I do, however, want to share that the hardest part about being a vegan is indeed having to wake up at 5 a.m. to milk the almonds. I'm just putting that out there right now from the spot.
If you're thinking about transitioning into becoming a vegan and you've spent the majority of your life eating meat and dairy products, you're probably wondering to yourself, how can I start? And it's hard, not gonna lie, it is very hard, especially if you're starting from, you know, nothing. If you're so used to your main diet and you're taking this grand leap. But this is why I'm making this video, to help people like you that are just so confused as to where to start. The reason why I became vegan was for health problems, so I'm just gonna do a little summary because this is going to help a lot into what I'm going to explain later on. So the reason why I became vegan is because since I was a little girl, I suffered from rheumatoid arthritis. I was pretty tired, to sum things up, I was pretty tired for the past decade, over a decade, on, you know, suffering through that. And yeah, that's when I did the whole entire vegan diet and I had nothing else to lose, and now I'm wonderful. I'm so good in health. Like, my health has just skyrocketed since then. And that is why I am a vegan, which is going to lead on to what I am going to say. The first step into becoming a vegan is ask yourself why. Why are you becoming a vegan? Is it for dietary purposes? Is it because of your health? Is it for the environment? Is it to lose weight? But just gonna be really honest with you right now, if you're thinking about becoming a vegan to lose weight, that is not a realistic goal. Why do I say that? It's because it is basically the same with every diet, every popular diet that's out there. You do the diet, you lose your weight, you get your goal, then later you just start binge eating everything else and then you're back to where you started. Of course, it doesn't always happen, but it tends to be like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know I'm right. What I really want to say with is have a reasoning. If you do not have a reasoning, if you do not have a purpose that you're really like, you know what, I'm going to be really self-disciplined, I have a purpose, and this is what I'm going to do, yada, yada, yada. It's going to help so much because if you're just there like,
I want to lose weight, I'm going to get that summer body being vegan.
Yes, it will work. It will work. But don't get mad if later when you stop doing that diet, you gain all those pounds. Okay? Okay. Just saying. Don't get mad if it happens. Also, another thing I want to say is not everyone can quit everything cold turkey the next day. And that is completely fine. If you're not like me and said and like woke up the next day and just like quit everything, no more meat, no more dairy, no more cheese, no more nothing, that's perfectly fine. You do not have to get rid of everything just like that. No, you can take your sweet old time if you need to. And that's what I'm gonna help you with right now. So usually whenever someone asks me, how do I become vegan? I'm like, you can either quit everything all cold turkey, but if you find that's really hard to do, then take baby steps, okay? There's nothing wrong with taking baby steps. In fact, it's better because it will have your body slowly get accustomed to this drastic change, because there's a lot of changes, like I mentioned earlier before, that do happen on the inside. So it'll get your body to get used to all of those changes. Well, it's very simple. Usually I tell people to start cutting off meat. And by that I mean it's really easy. You know yourself better than anyone else. So you ask yourself, okay, I usually eat red meat this many times per month, or white meat this many times per week, and so on and so on and so on. So usually what I recommend is you take your month, right? And you plan out your month, saying on the first week, I'm going to cut off this type of meat. The second week, I'm going to cut off this. And then the third week, so on and so on and so on until you reach your month, right? It's really that simple. And don't be alarmed if you mess up, because, you know, we're human and everyone makes mistakes. And there is no such thing as a perfect vegan. Take it week by week. Take it day by day, you know? And that's all you're going to have to do. I do later recommend that people start becoming pescatarian. Now, what is pescatarian? A lot of people confuse it with veganism and vegetarian, and that is not correct. Now, pescatarians, being pescatarian, I should say, is indeed a branch of vegetarianism, meaning that there are people that do not eat any other meat, still do consume animal products like cheese and dairy, like vegetarians. However, the only meat or dead animal that they consume is indeed fish. So I do recommend people start cutting off regular meats and then becoming a pescatarian for a while until you feel like you can start cutting that off as well. So the same thing. Start planning it out week by week, month by month, day by day, and see how you feel on that. Later, when you're ready to make the change into cutting out every single source of meat out of your diet, such as all the fish and all the poultry out of your diet, then later you will become a vegetarian. And what is a vegetarian? A vegetarian is a person that does not eat any meat but does still consume animal products such as eggs, dairy, gelatin, and like all of that, but they do not eat meat. So later you become that. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because if you're trying to be vegan, you know, we don't really eat, well, I shouldn't say we don't eat any animal products whatsoever. So no eggs, no dairy, no poultry, no fish, no gelatin, yeah, nothing that contains animal products gets in our system. So that can be hard. But like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect vegan. That is really unrealistic. I don't care who you are. There's no such thing as a perfect vegan, okay? And last but not least, you should also ask yourself, what kind of vegan do you want to be? Yes, there are different types of vegans out there. So many that I find it quite astonishing, to be honest, because there's such a thing as, I think it's called the Paris vegan, that they're only vegan in their home country, but but they're travelers, so whenever they travel, they're not vegan anymore. There's also a raw until 4. I believe that's what it's called, where they're only eating fully raw vegan products, not cooked whatsoever, until 4 o'clock p.m. And there's also fully raw vegans that do not cook at all their products and consume it like that. And there's also a dietary vegan that they just, you know, are fully vegan, but just as a diet, but they still do consume other animal products and their body wash, shampoo, clothes, etc., etc., etc. And there is a true fully vegan that does not consume any animal products whatsoever. It does not even use them. No makeup, no clothes, no harmful products for their hair, face. No, there's also that. So just do some research on what kind of vegan you like to be. I am a dietary vegan, although I am kind of a vegan that does not like to use those products as well in my hair, on my makeup, etc., etc. But I have so much that I don't got the money to just, throw it all away. So I have to use them until they're finished. So whenever I'm done with a product that they contain something that deals with animals, when I'm done with it and throw it out, I opt for something that is vegan and cruelty free. So like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect vegan. Sometimes you're gonna want to be like, you know what, I quit and I'm so done with this. Why? Because there's gonna be a time that you go out to a restaurant or wherever with a group of your friends and everyone's eating their pizza or their salmon or their chicken, and you're just there like, and yeah, that's not really that fun. It gets tempting. So just know that it is going to get harder, but it's not impossible to achieve. Something I cannot stress enough is please, 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 please get your levels checked. Now, you're probably wondering, what do you mean by getting my levels checked? Do you mean jump from level 1 to level 2? No. I mean, please get blood tests done. Why? Because it's true, you need to check what's going on in there. Some vegans do suffer from a lack of vitamin B12 deficiency and zinc deficiency, and they're all very important. Protein as well. Of course, it doesn't always happen. That's not always the case. I'm perfectly fine. My zinc is fine. My B12 is fine. My vitamin D is fine. My protein is perfectly fine. I don't have anemia. I'm perfectly healthy. It's not the same for different people, because everyone's different, everyone's bodies are different. So please get your levels checked. I really do recommend getting them checked every 6 months, twice a year. It's not that hard. It's just trying to check if everything's okay inside, because it's super duper important. I can't stress it enough. And last but not least, I really want you to ask yourself, is veganism really for you? Sometimes it's not for everyone, so consider the other options. Like I've told you before, pescatarian and vegetarian, because you can simply just be plant-based if you want. You can simply just be plant-based if you want, and you can still intake meat and other dairy products, but your main diet is plant-based. It's vegetables, it's fruits, You can totally do that. It's perfectly fine. Don't feel that you have to be vegan. Consider other options. You don't have to be 100% vegan if it's not for you or if it's affecting your health in a bad way instead of a good way. So another thing, a last thing I am gonna say, and then that's it, I'm done, is a lot of people have came to me and told me that they want to be vegan due to certain documentaries that they see on Netflix or online, like What the Health and Cow Conspiracy and all those other wonderful documentaries. And that's great. That's great that those documentaries did inspire you. These documentaries are mostly made to persuade the viewer to open their third eye or whatever, to think differently, to have you think the way that these people who are making the documentary think. So although they are good, please do not look at them as your only source of information. The internet and books made for this topic, as well as consult your doctors. Yes, doctors. Do not only see one. Do not just see your primary care doctor, but also see a nutritionist. They will help you. They're there to help you. And if you're opting for a vegan diet, consult your doctor first. Please do not make this drastic change on your own, because your doctor knows what's best. All right? I see a nutritionist and I see my rheumatologist and I see all these doctors, and I inform them, listen, I'm going to go on the vegan diet. And they're like, okay, let's just check to see how your health is doing. All right, cool. And then I frequently get blood tests to make sure that everything's okay. And my nutritionist as well helps me with that. I'm like, listen, I'm doing the vegan diet. I don't want to get off of it, but you know what's best. You know what's better. So let me know. And I haven't had to get out of my vegan diet because they're constantly there with me. I also have a friend of mine that's an elder brother to a friend of mine that's a nutritionist, and I often do come to him, especially when I was first transitioning. I would text him constantly like, listen, what do I have to do? What do you think? And he would give me some feedback. He told me I had to eat a bunch of cereal. Like, I did not know that. My nutritionist that I go to and my doctor did not tell me I had to eat a bunch of cereal. But he told me, so I started to consume that. But it's super duper important, because don't think that you can do this on your own. You can totally do this on your own, but what you see on the outside is not the same of what's going on in the inside, which is why I can't stress it enough to get your levels checked. Do a bunch of research, okay? And that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say. I can make a separate video on the changes in your body, because, for example, there's a thing called rapid weight loss. There's a thing called switching your moods, more energy, loss of energy, going to the bathroom. A lot more. So that's kind of more of a TMI. I just want to leave the basics here on how to become a vegan. But if you're interested on what actually happens when you turn vegan, I would be more than glad to make a video on that as well. I hope I've answered your questions on how to start. Remember, this is just the basics on how to start to your transitioning. I would love to make more videos like this. If you want, all you have to do is, like I said, let me know. So if you enjoyed this video and it was a lot of help for you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and share this video. I will see you guys on my next video. Toodaloo. Goodbye to your cheeseburger. Say goodbye to your cow's milk. Say goodbye to gelatin. Goodbye to your cheese, to your chicken nuggets, and all that good stuff.